Welcome, super smarties. Let the learning begin. Welcome back. All right, let's take a temperature check. Make your zone known. I am regulated and ready to learn. Now for our mind shift today, what we're going to do is focus on another word intention because I want to draw it into what we're going to do together. So let me think. The first letter is way late at the end of the alphabet. Any idea what it might be? Second letter. Any idea what it might be? Funny word that has a W and then an R, right? Right? Any idea what it might be? It's a funny word, right? W-R-I-T, right? E. Right. Not the right, that's correct, but the right like you're going to write with a pen, a pencil, a marker. So we're going to focus on right. Every time we look at a letter, we're going to take a breath. This letter happens to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters in it, this word. And our last word, read, only had 4. So this is going to require more breath, probably because it often requires more effort for you to write than it does to read. There's levels of production when you're dealing with words. The lowest level is listening. Next comes speaking. Then comes reading. And finally comes writing. So that's a really high level of production. First we hear words. Then we say words. Then we learn to read words. And finally, application, we write the words that we've listened to, we've spoken, and we've read. All right, so let's do a mind shift. Now, when I was focusing on the letters, it was so silent, and I signed the letters to you as I looked at them instead of saying them out loud, because that keeps our mind in a calm, regulated state, but it still helps us to focus. And remember, our goal is always that we are calm, focused, and self-aware. We can't regulate if we're not aware of what we're feeling and thinking. And remember, emotion is just energy in motion. Not necessarily good, not necessarily bad. Some things we don't like I don't like to feel angry, but anger is just my body processing energy in a way I can't contain. So then I feel angry. If I feel tired, it's a lack of energy. My body doesn't have enough energy moving, and it's telling me to stop and refuel. And a lot of the times, I'm not even aware of what I'm feeling. I'm always feeling something, but I'm not always aware of what it is. That awareness helps me realize whether I'm ready to focus on learning or I'm not. So it's super important that throughout your day and all throughout your whole life, you're constantly making mind shifts. You're shifting your mind into a place of readiness, which means you have to have control of your brain. If you don't have control of the organ, your brain, the part that's doing the thinking, you aren't going to have control of your mind, the place that processes all of that thinking. One is a structure. Your brain has the job of processing the information, but your mind is what does the work of it. And if you don't control your brain, just like if you don't control your body, you won't control your mind, just like you wouldn't control your actions. So it's really, really, really important. All right, let's move forward to our calendar. And I wanted to give you a growth mindset quote. Opportunities to grow are all around us. You can flip this into an intention today and say, I will look for opportunities to grow all around me. Today, one of those opportunities is right here. Now, I know we've done this many times, which is why I added the Nano Lesson, the littler lesson, because I want it to stay novel and interesting to your brain. But I also want you to practice it over and over again and again, because if you do that, you'll get it into a place of automaticity where your brain can get to it fast as a snap, fast as a clap, fast as a blink. That's how fast that you'll be able to think. And when we're writing, we want to push that schema over into quick application. Essentially, as a teacher, I'm an encoding, processing, and retrieval engineer. And you have to learn how to encode that information. That means put it in your brain, process it. That means think about it. As your teacher, I'm here to help you learn how to get the information in and then what to do with it when it's in there. And then retrieval. I have to give you good ideas and mnemonic devices and triggers and instruction that helps you know how to get that information out upon demand. But you have to do the work of retrieving it. So technically, you're an encoding, processing, and retrieval engineer too. EPR. We are EPR engineers. So don't let anyone tell you that you're not doing the important work. Your teacher does important engineering work, and so do you. So we're a team. All right, team Smarty. Let's do this. Make sure you have your composition book or notebook, because the idea is that you want to come back to it over and over and over again. It's really a good idea for you to take any information that you need to come back to and understand again and again into a composition book or into a notebook so that you can access it again and again until it lives in your schema. One of the strategies that you can do to get back to important information is put it in a safe, smart place. So this becomes my smart book. And I read it over and over until my brain imprints it. And then I don't necessarily need this anymore. Then it becomes like kind of a crutch. Once I can walk all by myself, I don't need a crutch to carry me. All right, let's change the date. So yesterday was Tuesday. And we wrote, today is Tuesday, yesterday. But now yesterday is Tuesday. It's so confusing. But what we need to do is move that information up. It's got to vacate the space because we have new information to put there. So I'm going to erase Tuesday, and I'm going to move Tuesday up. I'm going to look in my smart brain first, and what I can see is the structure of the letters because I've looked at it so many times and written it so many times that when I close my eyes, my brain has the memory of the structure of the word and the letters that I used because I took a picture. Every time you look at something, it's a little like taking a picture. You know, a lot of people have to take selfies. Well, you're kind of taking information, making information selfies, and storing those in your brain. So everything that you see, if you attend to it with intention, and you make a point of telling your brain to take a picture of it and store it, every time you access it and retrieve it, you myelinate, you coat that connection with this slippery substance that lets your brain access that information faster and faster and faster till it just becomes automatic. It's like if you took your camera and you went and you can see all the pictures just flying, but your brain is able to isolate every single picture as it goes by. It's kind of what your brain is like. It's all that information in there. All right, so we're going to, I guess I'm going to need a face space first. This will be lace. Wednesday, space. And let's change the date. Yesterday was the 12th, so today is 1 more than 12, 10, 11, 12, 13. I put a 1 in the tens place, I put a 3 in the ones place, 13. Yesterday was Tuesday, capital Tuesday. I see the memory of my Monday. Now Monday's a more distant memory. So if yesterday was Tuesday, then today is hump day. Hump meaning going up over the hump. Wednesday. And I'm getting so good at enunciating. I hope you are too. That is probably my takeaway from the pandemic. I can now pronounce Wednesday. Yay, I think I could have done without the pandemic. Capital WEDNESDAY. And just a period. My pen is getting kind of faint. I'm going to have to replace it, I think. Now I don't want to erase my important Nano Lesson, so I'm carefully going to take Wednesday out. So if we're at the peak of the week, tomorrow we start on the decline. Incline goes up, peak of the week, decline goes down. In school, we always say that Thursday is the longest day of the week because it feels like Friday, like you've been in school forever, but there's still one more day. I worked at a school once where we said every day felt like Thursday. Every day feels like Thursday in a hallway school too. But it's not Thursday yet. That's tomorrow. So let's write it. And remember, Thursday starts with a digraph like thumb, TH. Capital THURSDAY. And then a period. And you want to use these words flexibly and sing-songy because your brain makes a memory of that too. Now, if you're not an auditory processor, that means you hear information and then you just, not that you didn't hear it, but your brain just doesn't really remember it. You remember it better by seeing it, seeing the letters. You can take a picture better than you can make what's called a tape, an MP3 file or whatever they call it now. But whatever works is what you want to do, and you want to merge multiple what's called modalities together, because the more supports you give to your brain, the more you do what's called stopgap measures. You don't let the information slip away. Sometimes you'll say, or you'll hear grown-ups say, that's right on the tip of my tongue. Like, that's an idiom. There's nothing literally on the tip of your tongue, but what it means is my brain kind of can remember, but I can't quite remember. So it's almost like the information is like, whoop, over here, whoop, over here, whoop, over here. And you're like, are you kidding me right now? Seriously? Just get out here and tell me what it is I want to know. So tip of your tongue is when you can't quite get to that information. So by doing it the way we're doing it, where we sing-song it, we chant it, we put it in different colors, we trace around the structure, we say silly things, we make rhymes and chants, we write it, we move it. All that manipulation puts it in a whole lot of ways into our brain, so it helps our brain avoid that tip of the tongue sensation of not quite remembering the information. All right, so let's change the daily sentence. Today is Wednesday, and I'm going to transfer that information from the top. I might have to use a different color. Whoa, that word is so long I could barely get the comma in there. 13. I think I'm going to change May. May 13. Okay, today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. Now let's look at our Nano Lesson. Here we see 3 pictures on a little schema strip, and here we see 3 different pictures on a schema strip. See the space in between? That indicates different information. Same process, different information. It's related in the manner that we're going to do the same thing with both of them, but it's unrelated in that we want our brain to stop and process only this information. When we're finished, we're going to process this information. So it's called differentiating. So say differentiate. It's really important that your eye knows when to stop and your brain knows what to focus on. So here's a sentence, and then here are 3 pictures. And here's a sentence, and here are 3 pictures. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to use the meaning of the sentence and try and figure out which picture best carries the message, which means we're only selecting one and we're going to eliminate 2. Now sometimes it might be 2 pictures work. In this case, only 1, eliminate 2. So we have to be really strategic listeners and readers. I'm going to read it out loud. You might have already read it in your smart brain, but I'm going to also read it aloud and ask you to be my echo. I am the voice, you are the mountain. So I go first, you go after me, and then we'll do it together. And then we're going to look at the 3 pictures. Think about what it is that the sentence said, which means we have to figure out what is the essential information. Right now, people can go out and shop for essentials, things that keep them alive, like food. And you're allowed to be in essential places where you have shelter and clothing. Those are essentials. If you take everything else away, like Legoland and Big Air, where we like to bounce on trampolines, and Disneyland and the movie theater, those are considered non-essentials. Although some of us might say, arguably, they might be essential to us not going cuckoo. But right now, essentials, only what's most important. So we're going to transfer that concept, that idea, over into this sentence. We have to figure out what's the critical information, the information that tells us which picture best describes what it is we just read. All right, so listen, I'll go first, you be my echo. Before we look at the sentence, a strategy when we take tests sometimes is to look at what's offered as the possible answers, and then when you read the text, you stay aware of what it is that you read that they were asking and what it is that were your choices. Sometimes when you see a picture or you read some words, you go back and read the text and you're like, ding, ding, ding. You see something that describes the picture, or you actually see the words that you just read and your brain makes that connection. So we're going to look at the pictures first. Here's a picture of a cat and he's sleeping on a mat or a rug. Here's a picture of it's supposed to be a dog. A dog. Yeah, a dog. Looks kind of like a deer fox, but I'm telling you it's a dog. And this is a door, and the dog is running out the door. See, this is motion. And this is a boy, and he's eating. It was meant to be ice cream, but when I look at it now, it sort of looks like a banana. So it's a boy eating. Probably a banana, even though I meant it to be an ice cream. The tip is so thick, it's hard. I did my best. And remember, opportunities to grow are all around us. I can practice drawing ice cream and bananas and get better, but not right now. So let's read the sentence. I'll go first, you be my echo. The dog ran out the door. Good. Now let's do it together. The dog ran out the door. Now the first picture was a picture of a cat. The second picture was a picture of a dog. And the third picture was a picture of a boy. So right there, do you know what the answer is? Let's isolate the critical information. Dog, his action. So dog is a noun. It's a person, place, or thing. Some people think they're people, but they're actually animals. Ran out the door. So those are the 3 things we're looking for. A dog running out a door. Do you see it on the left, the right, or in the middle? Bing, 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 bing. We see it in the middle. So I'm going to use blue because I have green over there. Ding, 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 ding. A dog running out a door. It is not a boy eating a banana flavored ice cream. It is not a cat sleeping on a mat that looks like a rug. It is a dog, and that's in the middle, using our critical information of dog, ran, and door. Let's look at the second sentence. Now this time we're just going to read the sentence first and then we're going to glance at the pictures. Echo me. The tree was tall and green. Echo me again. I'm going to do the whole sentence. The tree was tall and green. Now let's do it together. The tree was tall and green. When you think about the critical information, what is most important? It has to be something we can draw and something that we can show. So nouns, people, places, and things are things we can draw. They're objects or people. And action, we can show action. Now, for those of us who have a hard time drawing, it's a little bit difficult. But there are ways to still show motion. An arrow. I couldn't show him running, but I made his legs up, and then I made an arrow. So let's look carefully. Tree was tall and green. So the tree. Now, it doesn't say the tree's doing anything, but it does describe it. So tree is essential. And what are the two descriptors? The tree was tall and green. Tall and green. So tall is the size and green is the color. So the thing is the tree, it's tall and it's green. So tall and green. So let's look at our pictures. Here is a tree. Here is a flower. Here is another tree. What do you notice? We're looking for tree. So two of the pictures have trees in them. One of them does not. Tall and green. Well, these two kind of look tall, and all three of them are green. So if we just focus on green, it would be impossible to eliminate any of them. If we focus on two tall, we still have two of them. And if we focus on tree, we have two of them. So we have to use all of the information to figure out which one we're going to eliminate. So tree is what's most important. Tall and green, because this is tall and green. But it's not a tree. So let's kiss that one goodbye. Goodbye. We know it's not that one. Now we have a tree on the left and a tree on the right, and we've eliminated the middle. Now let's look at the next two descriptors. Tall, green. They're both green, so that's not going to eliminate anything. But only one of them is tall. Is the one on the right or the one on the left tall in comparison to the other one? If we look at this one on the right and we look at this one on the left, which one is taller? The one on the left. So it has to be this one, even though they're both trees, even though they're both green. Both trees, both green. One of them is tall and one of them is not. So it's super important that you isolate all of the critical information. If you don't isolate all the critical information, you are likely to select the wrong picture, which would make your answer not correct. Whew. That was super fun on that Nano Lesson. Nano Lesson. All right, make sure you've transferred all of this into your composition book. And remember, read it, read it, read it, read it, reread it, read it, read it, reread it, and then reread it. So I'm going to take it down. Nicely done. How about we get on the bus? Does that sound like a great idea? Climb on the bus. Let's build up our schema. Honk, honk, beep, beep. That's me driving. Yeah, that's me. I think I even have my glasses. And you are now one of Robinson's rabbits. Honk, honk, beep, beep. You would never actually want to get on a bus I'm driving because I could not drive a bus. Maybe straight down the street, but then turning, at parking, no. We'd all be like in an episode of, or in the movie Speed, only I would not be Sandra Bullock. I just crashes into a building and we'd be going on a different kind of field trip. One that leaves the earth. Bye, everybody. Okay, I digress. Sorry, not sorry. All right, look at my board. Remember in our Mindshift intention, we said that today we were going to W-R-I-T-E, right? Right? Remember we said we were going to write? Right? That's what we're going to do. Only instead of expecting you to completely write from sound and memory recall of symbol, I've given you a little support. So there's some support letters off to the side. So we have a picture. We have 3 lines indicating we're going to plug in 3 letters. But the problem is, pull up your pants, put on your belt. Dun, dun, dun! They're out of order. Mix it, mix it. Now let's fix it. Get your hammer. Ching! I can fix it like Fix It Felix. Hey, we did that the other day. Hi, Wreck-It Ralph. He's actually a really good guy. It's not bad to be, it's good to be bad, and I'm not bad, and that's good. It's bad to be good, and that's bad, and I'm good. I can't remember what he said. It's good to be good. It's not bad to be struggling. That means we're learning. That's going to be my Wreck-It Ralph take. So let's look at the first one. Here we see a picture of a dog. D-A-G. That's phonemic awareness. When we say the word, we isolate the sounds. Now we're going to transfer it into phonics. We're going to reach over, pull the symbols back, and we're going to plug them in an order that makes sense. We have to connect the symbol to the sound. When we hear this sound or say this sound, we expect to see this letter. We have to put the sounds with the correct letters. Otherwise, we are not making the correct words. Even if we can hear the sound and isolate it, if we attach that sound to the wrong letter, we can't make the correct word. Now, words are just letters put together in an order whose sounds make sense. Okay? So I've provided you the symbols here. So we just have to figure out, again, process of elimination, we have to figure out which letter makes which sound. There are 3 sounds in this word, and 3 letters provided. So each letter makes a required sound, and if we get them in the correct order, we'll have the word. So it's kind of like a mystery. It's like a puzzle. We're bringing math over. Hybrid. A little of our math magician with our ELA magician. I couldn't think of anything clever. Okay, so we see an O, a G, and a D. So if I pronounce this in the order that it's written, it would be Agd. Agd? I don't know any Agdas unless you're making up some words like Dr. Seuss. I would be Dr. Robinson, not Dr. Seuss, so we're going to go with real words found describing real things that you could actually find in a dictionary. I'm the dictionary monitor, so let's make a real word. Let's build a word. So here's a dog. D. We're listening for D. Let's break out the beginning sound. D, og, D, D, D. Which of these 3 letters says D? O, G, or D? Yes, it's the D. Now, when you make the D, you can make it a line down or loop around. But if you're making a whole word and the D fits in the middle of the word, sometimes it gets crowded out by other letters. So what's helpful is to make it with the A first, like there's an A hiding in its tummy, and he always faces his dad. He's very, very glad to face his dad. All right, so look. Loop around to the left, up, all the way up, and straight down. D. So we've used the D. Now we need a vowel in the middle. Ah. Vowels are a little like glue. They hold the words together. So which of these is a vowel? The O or the G? O or G? Here's a little hint. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Vowel, vowel, vowel. And all the other letters in the alphabet are consonants. So let's make a support strand. Let's make a strip. Let's go down instead of going across. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Those are the vowels. So now that I've given you a support strip, think in your smart brain, look at your 2 choices. I have an O and a G. If you see one of these letters in this support strand, then it has to be the vowel. the O. D, ah. And we only have one letter left, so what is it? Process of elimination. G, g, like guitar. G. Now we took our phonemic awareness, our listening to each of the sounds and isolating them, and we transferred them over into phonics, and we recorded a word. All of these letters are correlated to the sounds that we said and the ones that we heard. They're put in an order that makes sense, and they identify the picture of what we see. We just built a word. We wrote a word. That is phenomenal. Opportunities to grow are all around us. We just seize the day. Carpe diem. All right, so let's do the next one. Meow, meow, meow. This is a cat. K, at. K, at. K. Uh-oh, I don't see a K, so it has to be a stealer of the sound. We see a T, a C, and an A. Let's make their sounds. T, k, a. Which one says K? Yeah, the C. It looks kind of like an A, and then we stop without adding the line. Let's take the middle sound. A. Has to be a vowel, has to be some glue. We have to glue the consonants together. Which of these letters do you see in our strand? On our support strand. Which one do you see? Our support strip. A, good job. And that looks like a C, only the line comes on the side. The ending sound, T, has to be the only letter that's left, and it's a T, down and across. K, at, cat. Now look at this one, gippy, gippy. This was tk, and gippy. And this is a pig, pig. Ig, p, p, p. Which of these says p? G, P, or I? G, p, I. It's the second one. Down into the basement, curve around. Right? That's where it is. No? Oh, where should I put it? Uh-oh. I just made a mistake. Oh no. Is that okay? They're expected. Now let's inspect it so that we can respect it and learn from it. Sometimes when kids see this, they copy exactly what they see on the other side. But if I leave the P here and put the G here and the I here, it wasn't a word over here. Is it going to be a word over here? No. No. So when you have the support strip, sometimes the support strip is still going to require you to use some extra effort and do some work. This way, this time what we're doing is sorting through it and changing the order. So I have to put it at the beginning, not in the middle. Good thing we inspected that. That's what's called a common error. Don't make that common error. You have to unscramble those letters. So now we have P. I. Has to be a vowel. Yep. I. P-I. Process of elimination. We have a G. G at the end. P-I-G. This is a pig. Oh, look. This actually is a word. Sub. Sub. A sub. It's like a boat kind of, or a canister. It goes in the water, but it's all completely covered, and it can submerge. It's submersible. It goes down. Submarine. Marine is water. Sub means it's going down. Is that a sub? Nope. And it's not a replacement teacher for the day, which is the other definition of sub for multi-meanings. This is a what? You know what this is? We get on one every single day. It's a bus. Except when I forget to say we're going on a field trip, and when we go anyway, we just walk instead of ride the bus. Okay, so this won't work. Even though it's a real word, it's not the word that describes this. Okay, so we have to unscramble it. S-U-B. Sub. B-us. Sub. B. B. Oh, it's at the end. It's the letter B. And this one we pull down, go up, and loop around. Remember, B is very, very bad. He will not look at his dad. I don't want to look at you. And his mommy has a baby B in her tummy. Ba. We already used a G. We need a vowel. Which one do you see? It's the U. And process of elimination. Ba, ba, s. It's an S. B, us, bus. This is a bus. Here we see not a nika. Nika, nika, nika. It's what soda. See, the word is soda, and then there's a little lemon on there. Soda comes in a can. K, a, n. Which of these says k, n, k, n, k, It's the second one. K, k. Steelers C, just like up here. See? Hey, this sounds like cat. Look at cat. Cat. Can. So what's the second letter? It's a vowel. It's the letter A. Cat. But instead of having a t like cat, it has an n like your nose. It's the letter N. K-a-n. Can. This is a can. The last picture here, I know it looks like a stool. It is not a stool. It's supposed to be hair that doesn't grow out of someone's head. It's just hair you can put on your head. You know what it's called? It's not called a gui. It's not a gui. It's a wig. A wig. They're fun to wear at Halloween. And when I tell stories, sometimes I wear them to be silly. And some people wear them to be fancy and beautiful. Wig. Wig. W-I-G. W. Which of these says w-g, w-I? The second one. It's a W, and it looks like double V. I don't know why we don't say double V, but it used to be that we wrote double U with two U's and it looped. Now we make them hard and straight, like two V's. So it makes it even harder to remember what the name of that letter is because it doesn't make sense when we look at it. Now we need a vowel. Put some glue in between the consonants. It's the letter I. And these are short. A, I. Not short like they're this tall, but short, making the first sound that those vowels make. Vowels make more than one sound. Some of them make multiple sounds. Some of them only make two. Wig. What's the last thing we haven't used? Just like pig, it's wig. Those are actually rhyming words. Pig and wig. They have the same ending sound. Awesome. W-I-G. Let's read our words. Now that we've had a chance to write them, let's read them. Dog, cat, pig, bus, can, wig. Outstanding. I love that you use this opportunity to learn and grow. I guess that's it. Till tomorrow. Till we start coming down from the week. Start heading for the weekend so we can start all over again. Pretty soon we're going to wrap up this school year. Hopefully we'll get to start back at brick and mortar. But if not, we'll have a lot of practice doing this, so we should be super good at it. Make sure you transfer this into a book. You want to stretch out the learning, get some traction action on both what we did for our portable calendar as well as what we did for our micro lesson. Transfer it over to word cards or onto paper. Have someone draw simple sound outable, which isn't really a word, words you can sound out, sound outables, and try isolating the sounds, say them out loud, isolate them in your smart brain, and as with your listening ear, try recording the symbol that belongs to each sound, and then try reading them. And then you can do like a matching game. You can cut these apart Make one solid card with a word, then cut them apart, make a picture, and practice pushing the sounds together. That was awesome! Thanks for sharing this with me. Here's some pride, put it inside, and some love. You can have it now, or you can save it for later. All right. Goodbye, super smarties. Come back ready to learn. Till later, Gator. Super teacher, out.